There is one average trick that is all over the test. Like, they love it. The chances of you seeing it are basically 100%. So this lesson is definitely going to score you points on the test. I also have a bonus for you. For now, I'm giving away my GRE bootcamp for free. It's a really intensive course designed to raise your GRE score 10 points in 2 weeks. It covers critical areas of the test, plus gives you hundreds of practice questions and quizzes. Now, all of my courses were developed and battle tested at UCLA, so they've helped hundreds of students ace these tests, and I'm sure it's going to help you too, and it's completely free. Just click on the link below. This is their favorite averages trick. They love this. You're going to see it all the time on the test, and it will definitely score you points. I call it turning averages into totals, and it works like this. So as you know, this is the formula for calculating the mean. Now the numerator we can think of as like the total, because it's the total number of points that all the students scored on the test, or it's the total salary paid to all the employees, etc. So that means the average mean formula is really just this. And with a little bit of algebra, we arrive at the most useful and most used average formula on the test. Total value equals number of things times the average. This is super common and absolutely critical, and you're definitely going to see it on the test. So we're going to do 3 examples. Go ahead and read the question. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, so we're told that we have 5 dogs, and we're asked to maximize the weight of the second smallest dog. I told you this min-max stuff comes up all the time in averages. Now, we learned that if you're asked to maximize something, what you do is minimize everything else and then calculate the maximum. So we need the lowest possible weight for the other 4 dogs. Now, we're also told that the average weight of all the dogs is 30 pounds, and that's really important because that means that the total weight of all 5 dogs must be 30 times 5, which is 150. So whatever happens or whatever we do, when we add the weights of the dogs together, they have to equal 150. We're not allowed to change that number. Now we're also told that the median weight is 40. So we know for sure that this middle dog must weigh 40 pounds. Now our job is to minimize the weights of the other dogs. So the lowest this dog can weigh is 40, and the lowest this dog can weigh is also 40. Now that first dog, it can weigh 1 pound. So now we've minimized all the other dogs, so we now just calculate the maximum by taking 150 and subtracting 1 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40, and that equals 29. So the maximum possible weight of that second smallest dog is 29 pounds. And if you go back and look at the numbers, we've satisfied all the parameters of the question. The median weight is 40 and the mean weight is 30. Okay, very nicely done. Let's try this one. Go ahead and read the question to yourself. Pause the video if you need to. So the question is asking, what does Bruce need to average on the last 2 tests in order to get his total average up to 88? Now, whenever you're asked to move a total average up or down, it's a sure bet that you need to use this framework. The total value equals the number of things times the average. Okay, let's see what we have. Well, we're told on his first 3 tests, Bruce averaged 85 points per test. So that means on his first 3 tests, Bruce scored a total of 255 points. Go Bruce. But how many total points does he need? Well, over 5 tests, he needs to average 88 points, so he needs a total of 440 points. Now, he's already scored 255, so he needs an additional 185 points. He has 2 tests left to get those points, so he needs to average 92.5 points on his remaining 2 tests. Okay, very nicely done. Read this example, pause the video if you need to. Okay, first, don't let the variables or the weird answer choices intimidate you or freak you out. Our framework is so strong, it won't matter. You're going to go right through the question. So from the question, you know you're in the land of averages, and the question asks you for the total average weight, mentioning total weight as your clue that you're going to use this framework. Total value equals the number of things times the average. So now let's just fill in what we know. Well, we know we have 30 titanium bolts, and the average weight of each bolt is X. So that means the total weight of all 30 bolts must be 30X. We also have 10 magnesium bolts, and they weigh on average 8 grams. So the total weight of the magnesium bolts, well, that's 80 grams. To get the total weight of all the bolts, just add together the weight of the titanium bolts and the magnesium bolts, and that turns out to be 30x plus 80. Now the total number of bolts we have, well, that's 40. So that means the average of all the bolts must be 30x plus 80 over 40. Great. Now it's just algebra. First thing we do is we break up the fraction. The test loves to have you break up the fraction. And when you do that, it starts to look a lot easier. This turns into 3/4 x plus 2, or answer choice D. Now remember, always use a framework if you have one. Frameworks are incredibly helpful, and also the framework is always twice as smart as you and me put together. All right, nice work. Okay, great job. Remember, the number of things times the average is the total. And also remember, you can get the GRE Bootcamp completely free. Just click on the link below. All right, great work. We'll see you next time.